Charagma, first foremost, all praise, glory and highest honor to Yahweh, Sham Yahweh, Shaiba, Hasham Rachaktash. Double honors to elders, apostles of Great Millstone, Charagma, to the hopeful elect of Hebrew Israelites, this brother Arakia. Okay, so like I said in the last video, I had one prepared up. And this was inspired concerning what Elder Apostle Taha said in one of his lessons some time ago, that, you know, in Genesis 47, when the Egyptians sold themselves, it was because of lack of money. And they needed food, so they sold themselves. And this is exact same what will happen to the modern Egypt, which is Babylon the Great or America, and to the other parts of the world when they're going to push this mark of the beast, which is the microchip, because you're not going to have anything to finance for your food, so you're going to have to offer up yourself. Okay, and this is what they're going to use the debt for, you know, the debt clock. Even this country Finland is well in debt, and in America, you know, you have the debt clock. Okay, well, let me first read this, then I'm going to go to that topic. In Genesis 47, during severe famine, the Egyptians sold their livestock and eventually themselves to Pharaoh in exchange for food, as they had no money left. This illustrates the desperate measures people took to survive during the famine in Egypt. Okay, so let me now write this. American debt woman, that's funny. Yeah, the American black woman, that's the worst kind. American debt clock. Isn't it trillions, right? Isn't the tens of trillions is what, 30, 40, 50 trillion? I don't know, it's been a while that I checked it out. But wait a minute, man. Add. Yeah, you see, the national, and you see it's going up. That's funny. You know, it's constant. You see, it's just constantly going the fuck up, man. So you see, the U.S. national debt is 38 trillion officially. And I heard the elder apostles say that it's actually in the hundreds of trillions. I haven't looked into it more than that, but you see, and it's still going up. It's going up by the second. Plus 38 trillion. So let's just put it this way. What is, and America has, I want to see what, okay, I want to see, because American population is 350 million, right? What is 38 trillion divided by 350 million? To count how much the debt is by or per citizen. And I'm gonna get to the scriptures in a moment. Okay, so it says here 38 trillion divided by 350 million is 108,000. That's a lot. That's over $100,000, man. Yeah. So, you know, when the Rothschilds gonna want that debt, which keep in mind is gonna rise so let's just put it to 115,000. So if you don't have that and you still want to eat, well, you gotta take the mark of the beast. That's Revelation 13:16. There is no new thing under the sun, man. We're reading the history of Egypt, and now it's gonna play out soon in the modern day Egypt. Genesis 47:13, and there was no bread in all the land, for the famine was very sore, so that the land of Egypt and all the land of Canaan fainted by reason of the famine. And Joseph, okay, who was son of Jacob, which his two sons ended up being tribes of Israel, tribe of Ephraim and tribe of Manasseh. And Joseph gathered up all the money that was found in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan for the corn which they bought. And Joseph brought the money into Pharaoh's house. And when money failed in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan, all the Egyptians came unto Joseph and said, Give us bread, for why should we die in thy presence? For the money failed. And did you just see that death clock? 38 trillion and running. And that's the official numbers. Like I said, most likely, because I don't know the exact number, but hey, that's what they say officially. So what was the unofficial number? The elder apostles say in the hundreds of trillions. No, that makes sense to me. So in this present day Egypt, which is America, when people are gonna bug out because it's getting worse by the day, when the time of Jacob's trouble hits in, you know, these people, they cannot finance themselves. It's going to be a situation that you cannot pay for your food by the currency of today, which is the dollars, and the death clock over 108,000 you would have to pay. But what is the shortcut? That's the mark of the beast, the microchip. And Joseph said, Give your cattle, and I will give you for your cattle if money fail. That's funny because it reminded me of what that dude Klaus Schwab said. That came to mind, you will own nothing and you will be happy. So the Egyptians, they had to sell everything, man. Egyptians sold their livestock and eventually themselves. But Joseph was chilling because he was in a good position, and he was also helping the children of Israel, his brothers. And they brought their cattle unto Joseph, and Joseph gave them bread in exchange for horses and for the flocks and for the cattle of the herds and for the asses. And he fed them with bread for all their cattle for that year. When the year was ended, they came unto him the second year and said unto him, We will not hide it from my lord. How that our money is spent, my lord also has our herds of cattle. There is not aught left in the sight of my lord, but our bodies and our lands. So that was the only thing that they had left, themselves and their lands. Wherefore shall we die before thine eyes, both we and our land? Buy us and our land for bread, and we and our land will be servants unto Pharaoh. So they just wanted food. So they were willing to sell themselves and their lands Okay, and give us seed that we may live and not die, that the land be not desolate. And Joseph bought all the land of Egypt for Pharaoh, for the Egyptians sold every man his field, because the famine prevailed over them. So the land became Pharaoh's. And as for the people, he removed them to cities from one end of the borders of Egypt even to the other end thereof, because they sold themselves and their lands. Verse 22, only the land of the priest should, bought he not, for the priests had a portion assigned them of Pharaoh, and did eat their portion which Pharaoh gave them. Wherefore they sold not their lands. Then Joseph said unto the people, behold, I have bought you this day and your land for Pharaoh. Lo, here is seed for you, and ye shall sow the land. So, and this is a sign of things to come. In America, it's going to get so bad that people are not going to be able to afford their basic everyday needs of food, water, clothing, and shelter. And the only option they're going to have is to sell themselves, which is to take the mark of the beast. Okay? And that's gonna come to all the world to try them that live upon the earth, as it says in Revelation 3 and 10. Okay? But Joseph was in the spirit, man. And the Most High was with him. But now you're gonna have a different situation, because you're gonna have the Edomites. Now you have the Edomites in the position of power. So they want to get you CHIPPED, microchipped. And they're gonna use the dead clock as well. You gotta pay your part. You gotta pay the 100, 1,000, 110,000, 115,000. Oh, you cannot pay. Or take a chip. Even if you are able to pay that, you're still gonna take the chip, because if you're not of the elect, because that's the form of payment in the near-term future. So anyway, this was it for the lesson. Lord willing, it was edifying. In closing, all praise, glory, and the highest honor to Yahweh, Basham, Yahweh Shai, Basham, Racha, Kodash, double honor to elders and pastors of Great Millstone, Shalom, to the elect, on to the next.